What is going on, Subs No Dubs family, and welcome back to a very special episode of Subs No Dubs Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at the very first episode of Attack on Titan Season 4. But
Finally, it's happening.
Oh, it's been a while. I've been waiting for this for a while. But right before we get into the review, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell if you like what we're posting to stay up to date. And boys, let's get into this episode because it was a crazy one. And girls, of course.
And weebs.
Of course.
You say weebs?
Yeah.
They're not weebs. They're anime enthusiasts.
Exactly.
I like that. But let's get right into this.
Yeah, so we start off, they just put us like into a war. I don't know what's happening. We're seeing a bunch of new characters, bro.
No Eren, no Mikasa, Eren. Nobody.
No Armin. Bro, I'm intrigued at this point, though. I'll give you that. Like, I feel like, okay, I'm gonna bad take right here, but like, it felt like SAO, man. Like, SAO, the most recent season of SAO, where they just dropped you in, like, no like backstory to what's going on. I was so confused. I didn't know what to expect at this point. But AOT hasn't like ever like made a mistake like this, so I think I'm at this point I'm more intrigued than worried.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of info to process throughout this episode. What is going on? Where are we at? What time frame are we in? Because obviously we see these new characters and we see Reiner, and Reiner looks like he's in his 30s.
Yeah.
But it says something about a war in 4 years, so it's like,
are
we only 4 years in? Where are we at?
For sure.
Yeah.
So when the episode opens, we basically learn that we're in the middle of a war, and it's been 4 years, and it's basically between the Marley like nation, and the Middle East Alliance. And just to give you guys a little recap, the Marley was the people living outside the walls that we were introduced to at the end of the third season. So they're basically trying to, their purpose was to really get the founding Titan, I believe, right? That's what they said.
I believe so.
Yeah. So we don't know why they started the war, but we do know the reason, or we do know their motivation. Sorry.
Yeah. So reminder: the Marley Empire is where we got Reiner, Bearholt, Ymir from like 3 seasons. We've like been introduced to them. We've seen them like fight our main characters, and they introduce us to those like the main Titans with like the armor, the colossal, the jaw Titan. So like this is very like important to see like more of Marley and see what like they're up to now, and it's like very interesting to see because we didn't really know a lot about them until that 3rd season or 4th season, whatever this past season. And now it's like this. That's obviously going to be the focus of the season. Is I assume eventually we'll be introduced where Eren and Mikasa and our Levi and our current characters will kind of introduce like interact more with the Marley. And like my initial theory is like they're talking about how like it's been happened for a 4-year war, right? And they're talking a lot about the founding Titan and how it's even mentioned that other countries know that Marley is weaker because they know they don't have 2 Titans. So my theory is that Eren had to have done something to initiate this war, because otherwise how would other countries get the information that Marley is down 2 Titans? So we have a time skip, which we assume probably is about 4 years if the war has been going on for 4 years. So something happened at the beginning of that 4 years with Eren, I assume, that initiated the whole war. And I assume we'll kind of get to that throughout the season.
Yeah.
I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts?
I think it's all about like progression, because right when the episode starts, we talk about who's going to be the successor to the armored Titan, right? And that's basically what like the purpose of the new characters are. Like they're basically being tested to see who would inhabit this power, right? And a little background on Falco. Like this is just my personal theory, but when he did wake up from his little like amnesia, he kind of had a flashback where he's like, I was flying with swords and we were battling Titans, right? And when you inherit a Titan's power, you kind of get the memories of the last person, right?
Ooh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So my theory is, he probably inherited someone's power, and he's kind of seeing what happened a few years ago at the wall. So I think that's what this season's gonna be all about.
That makes a lot of sense because that was like a really weird scene because you're like, how does he have like know that or how does he feel that if he's just a kid and he's a new character?
That's what I was wondering.
There's obviously a big time gap, so we don't know what happened.
That's what I was thinking, right? Like, I feel like they didn't really, like, implicitly explain that it's been 4 years, so I guess they're kind of leaving it up to you to realize that, you know, this is a new character. Are they still using the swords and the ziplining to fight?
Right.
I don't know the actual name. I forgot it. It's been, like, a year.
But that's a really good point, too, because in the middle of the war, you know, we see a lot of focus on technology, and we see like these anti-Titan
tanks,
like tanks
and train.
Yeah,
I think that's a cool thing that we finally start to see that like there's new ways to fight these Titans. Right? There's been clearly like technology boom when it comes to like figuring out how do we take care of Titans. We finally have ways to pierce armor on Titans, which was insane to me that they found like. We're
not just flying around with swords and grapples now. We actually have like full-on armored tanks shooting like anti-Titan missiles,
and then
at the Navy.
And then we see like a naval fleet at the end, which was insane. Like I can't believe that's like what's happening now. But I
just want to point something out because I think this was a fight with like a different like party, right? Like this wasn't the people that was inside the wall, so. The people inside the walls, they might not have access to all this technology, you know? They might still have to use their grappling hooks and whatever and swords.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, could you talk about how like messed up the Marley like war military is? They're using child soldiers. Yeah. We see like our new character Gabby just like has 6 grenades tied up together.
Seven. I remember this.
And she's willing to sacrifice herself to stop the armored train so that the like Titans can actually do their work. Like Marley's using child soldiers, and they just seem like terrible people. Like the whole time, I'm just thinking like Nazis. So that was my first thought.
Yeah. So I think what I understood from the episode is that like we see that Falco gets rescued from his brother running through like a firefight, like with guns, I assume. Yeah, and then. We see that they're trying to take out like this fort, right? And this is why she pulls out the grenades, and I don't know what she would be considered. Like, is she brainwashed, or is she like, why is she? I think this is where they explain that she's an Eldian, right? She is not part of the Marley nation, and what is understood is that Eldians are the only people that could become the mindless Titans, right? And the Titan shifters, and. I don't know if they're holding something against her or why she would be helping the...
I don't think I got that vibe. So, like, they kind of explained to us that they're all in, like, some kind of training course or, like, training school they come
to be
from.
warriors.
And yes, and they're all intended to be the new Titans that inherit the power of the Titans from the current generation. So... To me, it seems like they just have common goal that they want to inherit the power. So they're willing to work with Marley and work for Marley to accomplish a similar goal to obtain the Titan powers. Right. So that's why you see her kind of like risk her, like try to show off a bit, right? She's trying to impress the general and the other people.
She was very cocky.
To take out the train, which she does accomplish. She blows up the first armored train, which we see allows our Titans to infiltrate. We see Reiner coming in with the armored Titan. We see the Beast Titan drop in, Zeke drop in, all those people.
Bro, that was insane. Bro, that was like one of the coolest scenes ever. Titan bombing, truly.
Which is a great strategy if you think about it. They got so many Titans inside. Obviously, they dropped them from too high up, and a lot of them died. We saw that, which is unfortunate. But it was a great strategy to get inside those walls. And also, we got a cool part there where Reiner is mentioning, "I'm tired of walls," and we see a flashback to like Aaron and like we see the scouts on top of the walls. And it kind of shows that like Reiner is still like is upset about what happened with the walls, which I can assume like only means like things didn't go the way he wants. And we obviously saw like in the last season, like Reiner like didn't win. Like they lost the Colossal Titan, which is a big deal. Yeah.
I think what they said specifically was that Reiner will be the shield and Zeke will be the spear. Like that was like a big point to them. And that's when we realized that they break down all the walls, but they still have like 28 to 29 of like the anti-Titan cannons on top of the walls. And that's when he gets mad about that's when you get mad about. I still hate walls, and we see him like just sideswipe them all.
In addition to that, there was another train, I believe, behind the original like first wall.
Yeah.
So like it was still a lot to deal with in addition to that first initial train, you know.
The Titans, like the armor Titan, which is Reiner still.
Yep.
Yeah. Reiner. Sorry, these are rough for me. First episode. But we see that like there's genuine concern from him after the first like the cannons hit him and pierces his armor. And then like
he like loses an arm, and then he gets like hit in the shoulder, like loses
the full arm. Yeah. So there's genuine concern at this point that like I don't know who to stand in this fight at the moment, right? Like we kind of know who Reiner and Marley is, and we don't know who the Middle East Alliance is. But we do see that near the end of the episode in the city that the Mid East is considered like
they're like the opposition. They're the bad guys in the Marley's eyes, but obviously we don't know. Like we would probably say Marley are the bad guys based on like our experience with being like Eren as a protagonist, and obviously we side with those inside the wall.
Yeah,
and Marley to us is like the opposition. So it's interesting to see like that extra like conflict happening outside of like our normal storyline that we're used to.
Yeah. But after that,
go ahead.
After that, we see that this is when Reiner's like in distress, and we see that the Jaw Titan comes, which was formerly Ymir's power, which clearly now this is his successor, who has the power, right? Her
yeah. So the new successor we're referred to as Galliard is his name.
Yeah.
So that's who the new person is. We're also introduced to the Cart Titan, which is the four-legged small Titan that has like the big machine guns on his back.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which is kind of like the first time we've seen him, and like it's really cool to see like these Titans that we're not as used to.
I think the fact that we have like a Titan now that's also using like human like machinery with him is like clearly like the new generation of like Titan warfare. Right, I guess this is what you'd call it, and it was cool. Like the episode was just a lot of information overload to me. Like
it's very different. It was an interesting way to start this final season.
I just thought it was interesting because we kind of see like towards the end we kind of see it looks like Reiner dies because he does take all those torpedoes from the ships and navies. So it'll kind of be interesting to see his sort of like progression, especially since this is sort of focusing on like who will be his successor, which kind of it's a little bit of foreshadowing in my opinion. So,
you think he's dead?
I personally do think he's dead. Yeah.
I think there's no way. Like he didn't get hit in the nape. Like obviously, it definitely looked like he is severely injured, if not dead. But like I just can't see Reiner just being dead. Like,
but the thing is, like. From the beginning of the episode, they kind of emphasized how strong like the new technology was, right? Like one shot from the cannon to his head would have killed him, right? So just imagine just imagine all those shots from like all those ships.
But it didn't hit him in the head.
I don't know. I just feel like they're foreshadowing it way too hard.
I guess we'll have to see next episode.
We will.
Yeah, I haven't watched the previews for this episode, for next week's episode, but there's no way he's dead, Tunes. Like I just can't see it. Like.
I think he's escaped out too many times.
So,
to be honest with you,
would that mean that Marley is down to one Titan if he does?
No. They have the beast, the cart, and the jaw.
So, but they've lost.
And they've definitely got one of the kids to take that power. Yeah. So.
I mean, they were definitely all in shock. Like, regardless, like that anti-Titan weaponry scared the shit out of Marley.
For sure. Yeah.
So,
they won that fight with like taking some rough casualties.
They clearly were not expecting like that kind of like assault back towards them. They thought it would be an easy pickings. But
the Beast Titan's back to throwing fucking bombs.
That's the one thing I wanted to talk about, bro. It seems like that's the only thing this guy does, bro.
The Rock.
He controls a bunch of Titans, and he throws fucking like fireballs in the pitching stance, bro. Like, woo.
Bro, I just can't understand how he's getting the rotation on those bullets, bro.
Dude, he gets some nice torque in the arm too. Really like snaps it out there deep, hits all those boats, like doesn't miss. Or I mean, he missed a little bit, but he gets the job.
Are we talking like a Furia fastball? Or are we talking like a?
Oh my god.
Nah, this is more like you're just throwing paint, throwing a bunch of shit, just hoping it hits something. You know what I mean?
I mean, that was like Furia too, man. Like he was missing.
Yeah. But anyways, we end the episode. Marley won. Marley's all the citizens are happy, but we get a little Easter egg. Toonie, you want to tell us about the little Easter egg?
Or so he seems to think.
This is my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure that's Gene at the very end of the episode. It looks like he's kind of infiltrated the Marley Society. Maybe he's acting as a spy for the Eldians, but we'll have to see. That's my opinion. I don't know who you guys
us, Toonie, who's Gene?
So Gene is one of Aaron's friends all the way back from when they were in the little...
Gene Kirstein. I'll definitely put a photo up here for you.
Yeah.
Like,
but he's definitely one of the what did the survey corps?
Yeah, the survey corps. He's one of the he's one of the core members and friend groups from Aaron from season 1. I mean,
he was a big fan of Mikasa, wasn't he?
Okay, yeah, I was gonna talk about that. He was a little silly, but bro, it's been what 3-4 years. Like the guy's matured, bro. I have faith in him.
He seemed like a CIA agent, deep undercover, like he's being very like lurky and dark and just kind of doing his own thing.
But we don't even know if it's him though. That's my I don't.
Yeah,
bro,
that's true.
He just had we always saw was his jawline, and I'm gonna put the side by side right here because I'm not convinced it's him. But
yeah, what do you guys think? In the comments below, is it him?
Yeah,
or who is it?
Who is it? Yeah, if you've read the manga, don't absurdly spoil it. But you know, give us your predictions if you haven't read the manga, and we're gonna pass this off to you guys, right? Like when we do the show, it's always a conversation, and if you'd like to join into the conversation, put it in the comment section. We're always replying, and if you've made this far into the episode, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I mean, hit the subscribe and
or no thumbs down.
That works too.
It's okay content. It's okay.
Hit the bell icon because there's definitely be more than 2 episodes a week now with Attack on Titan running. But I believe Haiku is ending next week.
I think 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, Haiku is ending, so I think we'll find another more content to put out over there, or we'll stick to 2 shows a week: Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen. But that'll be it, boys. See you later.
Thank you for watching.
Haha! I got him. Later, guys.